It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot to get started in your business. It doesn't take a lot to get started on your dreams. It doesn't take a lot to go to the gym. It doesn't take a lot to go anywhere. It doesn't take a lot to do anything. All it takes is a thought and a willingness to go and do it. Even if I say right now I want to make $1 billion, all it takes is a thought, I want to make $1 million, and a willingness to go and take the first step. What do I gotta do to make $1 million? Well, first I gotta get some money. Okay, so how do I get some money? I got 3 options: get a job, sell something, or start a business. Sell something, I mean like sell clothes or like pawn stuff. I got those 3 options. Now, okay, which one's more likely to make me a millionaire or a billionaire? I'm not going to really be a billionaire if I'm just working a regular 9 to 5. I mean, I could do it, but I'd need a whole bunch of hours and I would have to live extremely frugal. Okay, not happening. Pawning stuff out. Unless I have goddamn the One Piece, I'm not going to be able to pawn something for $1 billion. I could pawn everything I own and probably not even come up with $1 million. Not even probably, definitely not come up with $1 million. I could pawn my whole body parts and probably come up with like 5 million. So, pawning not gonna work. Third thing, start a business. That could work. Is it gonna be hard? Is it gonna take a lot? Am I gonna really need to create something new, innovative? Am I gonna need to be the best in my field against millions of other people? Yes. But is it the most plausible, most reasonable way to become a billionaire? Yes. So starting a business is what I should do. Then you think to yourself, okay, what business should I get into? What do I like? And listening to a lot of these, business podcasts, listen to a lot of these audiobooks, and just talking to people in general who I know are successful, what I've learned is every single business model works. It's just about how dedicated you are to the business model and how much you're willing to put in. Because every single one works. So once you learn that, once you realize that in your head, it's just about figuring out, okay, which one do I like the best? This is the fun part, because now you just get to act like a kid in a candy shop. You get to just pick what you want to do. And for me, that was Amazon FBA. Now, I'm not saying I want to use Amazon FBA to become a billionaire, but that's just the example that I gave to give you my kind of mindset of how I went from not knowing what I'm doing to wanting to start an Amazon business. But basically, I'm going to go more in depth as to why I decided to choose Amazon. Well, first up, Amazon just felt like a no-brainer. If you've ever heard of drop shipping or, TikTok or organic drop shipping, it's basically where you would basically take a product that you can find from a supplier, that you can find from somebody, preferably overseas, because then you'd be able to get it super cheap. And then you would brand the product, run ads for the product, and then sell the product. But here's the crazy part about drop shipping. You don't actually have the product on hand until someone purchases it. So what you would do is you would create this kind of like streamline. I'm giving a rough example of drop shipping. I'm not a pro on drop shipping, so if I'm getting this all wrong, just comment it or something. But I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. Basically, what you would do is you would set up this streamlined connection between you, the buyer, and the supplier. When you create your website and brand your stuff up and people are coming to your website to see, okay, what is this product, and they want to buy it, then when they buy it, your supplier gets notification saying, hey, I got to send this stuff out that I made that I have here. And because you helped the supplier get the sale, you get the kickback and the difference of price that you set it for. So, so the supplier sells his product, so he's happy. You make the difference, so you're happy. And the buyer gets his product, so he's happy. And that's how this symbiotic relationship works. That's drop shipping. The problem with dropshipping that I found was that dropshipping required you to have, you needed to like really be a marketing master. Okay, you had to spend a lot of upfront money on ads. You had to make sure people actually liked the videos you made on the product. You had to make your website extremely professional so that people would like not think that you're scammy. And that's even hard, just period, because if you're just some brand no one's ever heard of and they look you up and they don't find anything on you, dude, you're not gonna get very far, bro. Well, that's just my thought process. I know there's a lot of people who are successful with dropshipping because, like I said, every business model works. It's just about what you feel like you are in tune with the most. But I was not in tune with the whole ad process. I didn't like it. And it just seemed like weird. Like you have to go and find products and like test them and like guess to see if they would work. And like, it just, I didn't like it at all. And then you'd have to find new products every now and then, or like every couple weeks, because it'd be like, oh, well, this trend died. And it just felt like I was a trend follower. So I didn't really like drop shipping. But then I found out about Amazon FBA, which is essentially just drop shipping, except without all of the confusion. And then Amazon takes out a small fee from, being able to alleviate all of that headache. When I first saw that, I was like, that's too good to be true. There's no way. There's got to be something I don't understand. But there was nothing that I don't understand. That was the whole appeal of Amazon. That's how Amazon made all of its money. It said, hey, we're going to alleviate all the stress of drop shipping by giving you our name. So when you're selling under Amazon, like I just said, you're selling under Amazon. So you get to have their website, their logo, their customers, their everything. Their customers already trust you. So that automatically takes out having to build a great website, having to build that reputation for yourself. That takes it out the equation. And then also it takes out ad spend, because you don't need to spend money to get ads out to people about how awesome Amazon is, because the entire world shops on Amazon every single day. You feel what I'm saying? So all that the sellers have to do is they have to go and find the products. So when I thought about that, I was like, okay, well, this is cool, but man, probably finding products is going to be hard. Until I found out that they have these softwares, literal whole softwares, that not only tell you what's selling, it tells you how much sells during a month. It tells you how many people are selling that item. It tells you where you can buy the items. It tells you, how much you would make before you even buy it. It tells you how much you would make. It tells you how much you should be able to buy it for before it's profitable. It's like I was looking at these softwares and I was looking at the business model for Amazon, and I was like piecing everything together. And I'm just like, this is free money. This is not real. There's no way this is real. There's no way this is real and people aren't doing it. But then I realized that mindset that I had was the whole reason as to why no one's doing it. Everyone thinks it's too good to be true, or it's just too hard, or it's just, The startup, I'll admit, getting the business started up and running, it was very, I don't know. It just was taxing. It was a lot. And there was a lot of times I want to just quit. Because although it's easy in the grand scheme of businesses, I say Amazon is the easiest business. But that doesn't make Amazon an easy business. But if you're not willing to put in a little bit of grit, you don't deserve the money that comes with owning a business. You understand what I'm saying? And that was my mindset. So let me just tell you guys once again all of the benefits of Amazon so you understand why I decided to, I'm going to jump on this. This is why I want to do Amazon business. So first off, like I said, you get Amazon's name. You become Amazon. You also get access to all of Amazon's customers. Go ahead and look up how many people visit Amazon a day. I think when I checked, I don't know the people, but their daily revenue, which means the amount of sales in dollar amount that they get every day, is in the billions. It's literally over $1 billion every single day. And it sounds so crazy, but if you think about how much people use Amazon every single day, think about how many people have an Amazon Prime. Like, when you think about all these things, it's like, oh my God. And then when you think about how you just want to make 10K a month, what's 10K to $1 billion? You can get your little 10K. You can get your little 10K. So that's 2. Face, you got the audience. 3, no ad spend. It's Amazon. You don't need to go get people to come to your website. 4, they have softwares that literally tell you exactly what is good and what is bad. It's up to you, the seller, to do your due diligence to make sure you're buying quality products that are going to be able to sell so that you can get your money back with profit. That's it. That's the whole model, bro. And when I realized that, I said, okay, let's do this. So I went on the computer. I looked up, how do I start selling on Amazon? How do I do FBA? Oh, and that's nothing. I completely skipped over that. I'm just everywhere because I like to turn on the camera and just talk on the fly. But I completely skipped over that amazing factor that Amazon also has. You do not handle any of your products. You get your products and you send them out to Amazon. And not only does Amazon package and make everything nice for you, they also ship it out for you. And they still send you the money. They do this all for, of course, a fee. You know, I think it's 15% of everything you make. And there's like little extra fees, which equates to about 30 to 40%. But a 60% profit split on you virtually doing no work other than buying the product and then giving it to Amazon, and they do it, you literally just sit back and wait for the sales to come in, which they inevitably have. I literally have sold out a product. I'm not speaking from hope. I'm speaking from experience. I am a seller. I've done this before. It makes you realize, like, yo, this is it. This is what I want to be doing. And so, like I said, I went on the computer, I was looking up how to start, and then I got started and I sent a verification in. You know how long it took for me to get verified after setting my verification of my identity? That parcel took 3 months. It's not supposed to take that long. But for whatever reason, I couldn't get verified for 3 months. So that's already 3 months before I made $1. Then, on top of that, now I had to go and I had to scramble for money to buy a course because, yeah, you can look for your information online. They got a lot of information online, but why would you waste all that time trying to sift through the BS, sift through the good stuff, sift through all of that craziness when you could just put a little money up front? And for me, I went to this YouTuber, his name is Marvin. You could look up Marvin, Marvin, and then just put FBA and he'll pop up. I bought his course. It's called The Wholesale Underground. It's literally a whole playlist of everything you need to do, start to finish, on how to sell on Amazon. It was crazy how professional it was and how much I would have scrambled for this information. He gives tips and tricks that you would not find on YouTube because that's what people hide beneath their courses. And it's just like, it was worth it. But it took money to get that. I had to work. I had to get the money, $500 to buy that course. So I'm not only 3 months in the hole, but now I'm 3 months plus a couple more weeks, maybe like a month, 2 months to get the money to buy the course. So I'm 5 months minus $500 in the hole without a single dollar made. And now I'm going through this course. I'm thinking, oh, I'm finna make all this money. I'm good. I'm finna be rich in a year. And come find out, there's a lot more to Amazon than just what I told you at first. There's also this thing called ungating. You can't just go on and start buying freaking Sony TVs and reselling them. You need actual permission from the brands themselves. Meaning you need to actually get what's called ungated on Amazon before you can even sell those products. So I got on Amazon, I was finally verified, ready to go, went through the course, and I realized that everything that I saw was gated. Meaning, like, every single brand that I wanted to sell before I knew about this stuff, I couldn't sell. Not that I couldn't, but I had to go through a process. That process requires you to buy 10 products from a verified distributor of that product, and then send an invoice that you get from that 10 products to Amazon before they would go review it, tell you if your stuff is right or not, which is crazy to me because when you're buying it, you know your stuff is correct. But sometimes they'll still tell you that your stuff's wrong. And you know what you have to do after that? You have to just suck it up and go figure out how you can negotiate with whoever's behind Amazon so that you can get ungated. And while you're doing all this, you're wasting time, you're wasting money because your subscriptions are all running. Because you order, it's $40 a month to sell on Amazon. $40 a month before you get into all the softwares too, which is another 20. You're looking at about $100 a month just to look for stuff. And then it takes weeks for these people to look at your stuff and verify you selling each brand. All these little things almost made me quit. It made me realize why I'm going to be paid. It made me realize why, oh, this is going to work out for me. Because there's a lot of places that I know people would have just been like, this is a scam, screw this. There was a lot of stuff that I couldn't just sell. You can't just go to the first page or just of Amazon or just go to the store and just pick up any old thing and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to sell 10 of these and make $1 million. No. There's a lot of stuff that's just unprofitable. There's a lot of stuff that you're going to find that just doesn't make you any money. There's lots of stuff that you're going to find that doesn't sell. It probably sells 10 times in a month. There's lots of stuff that you're going to find that sells a lot, but then there's a lot of people on it and the price is consistently dropping. There's a lot of little things that are just in every business, but people just think it's fast money. And I took a small hiatus from trying to sell. I'm not gonna lie, I almost quit because I was trying to get ungated. It was with Quaker, and they wouldn't listen to me. They would not understand that I was trying to they wouldn't understand that I was buying specific things that were quality. They didn't understand that I was not selling counterfeit. And then like other parts of my business, I couldn't get them running because people were taking the prices. And I was just like, I'm done with this. But I decided to stick to it. And I sent my first shipment out. I sent Duke's mayonnaise. I sent out 11 or 12 products. It was $36 investment. I just wanted to see if I could sell one thing. After I sent it into Amazon, I sold out a month later. I was gonna say 2 months because it took a month for the things to get checked in and packaged by Amazon. But then from the time that it actually entered the warehouse and like was available for sale, it took just 1 month for me to sell out of everything. And it's crazy too, because when you get low stock, there's also this thing called the buy box. I'm going everywhere, but basically when you get low stock, Amazon doesn't want you to sell out because it wants you to restock. So it makes it a little bit harder for you to sell that item. They'll give the sales to somebody else. But even with that hindrance, because the first week I sold like 7 of them. Remember, I had 12. I sold 7 in my first week. The first week of it being there. And like at that point I knew, I was like, this is real. This is so real and this is so easy. Because it wasn't like I was actively doing anything in that whole time to get the sales. I literally would wake up, check Amazon, and I'd see I made money. And I'm like, this is crazy. Because the amount of work that I put to find that product, bro, it was like a regular day. Probably like an hour. The time that's spent just packaging and shipping it out, that's really the time consumed. But like really after that, it's just free money. And I think after I realized that this is real, that's when I decided to be like, okay, I need to just sit through the grit. I need to sit through the BS, through all of the tough things, because if I get to a stage where I can just have a lot of capital and I can put it all into the business and get it all back, and I can rinse and repeat that process, I'll be in a great position. And that's how, at 20 years old, I decided that, yo, this is what I'm doing. This is why I have a business at 20 years old. If you want to know how much I made off of that $36 investment, I made $106 in revenue. And I think it's about $55 or $60, $55, $60 in sales or profit. Not profit, but like I made back 55, 60. So that's what, $20, $25 in profit. That's how much I made. And it doesn't sound like a lot. Now I made $25 in 2 months. Understand, when you're going and you're doing business and you're doing test orders and stuff like that, you should look at the ROI. I don't even need to do the math because I know 36 and 20, I know that's over 50% return on investment. Dude. Now just take that $36 and imagine that I made a $20,000 investment. I just made 10K this week or this month. Like, you gotta think of things on that level. And I mean, that's my story. That's how I got into it. That was my thought process. That was, you know, the ups and downs that I've experienced. I know I'm kind of everywhere. It's because I don't script my videos. I kind of just try to make them on the fly. One of these days I'm gonna try to make a scripted video to see if you guys like that more or if that just seems a little more organized. Really, it just like the thoughts come in my head and I just start talking. So yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want more details or want to hear more about like my story and like my journey, because I'm not done. I've only made $100. I really only made like $25 on Amazon, right? I only got $100 in sales on Amazon, but I want to do this to the point where I'm making $100,000 in sales a month. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to make $100,000 profit in a month. I want to be able to really make this real, and that's gonna take a lot, but it's not nothing I can't do. The fact that I was able to sell this product means I can sell any product. I can do anything. So you can too. I need you to believe that. So just hop on, man. Hop on Amazon, hop on a business, get started, do something. Because I'm telling you, every business model works. You just gotta have the commitment. You gotta have the dedication, and you can do it. You use that same dedication in a job anyway. Just want to let you know. Use that same dedication in college. If you put that same dedication into a business, you could really make yourself rich. But who am I to say?